What if the scene at the beginning is a lie? Those who read the manga know that Kashin Koji inherited Shinjutsu from Shibuya Otsutsuki, which allows him to see the future. Based on this, an interesting assumption can be made. Enjoy watching. In a recent chapter, we learned that Kashin Koji saw different futures of how Boruto's story could unfold. In one version, Naruto died. In another, Boruto died, and so on. Jiraiya's clone saw these events as if they were happening in real time. Now, the scene we saw at the beginning of the anime becomes a bit clearer to me because there are several inconsistencies. The first is Kawaki's words, "I'll send you to the 7th. What does that mean? If Kawaki intended to kill Boruto, he wouldn't send him to the dimension where the Hokage is. This would only make sense if Momoshiki was no longer present. But as we know, Otsutsuki inside the main character has no intention of going anywhere, so it's a bit strange. The second is the different clothing designs of the characters. Boruto and Kawaki are currently the same age as they were on the destroyed faces of the Hokage. However, their clothing style differs from the original. Not drastically, but there are differences. And third, and probably the most important, is what Kashin Koji and Boruto said about the terrible future. Many of us are asking, what is it? What is supposed to happen? But have you ever thought that maybe we have already seen the answer in the first chapter, in that very scene? And this is what we were warned about. Boruto is the last shinobi left, and Konoha is destroyed. If you think about it, the first scene in the anime and manga could just be a vision of that terrible future by Kashin Koji. I think many have heard that recently. Ikamoto and Kishimoto gave an interview. In it, they said that this scene was added at Kishimoto's request because he wanted to intrigue the readers. Neither he nor Ikamoto knew what to do with this scene because it wasn't even planned initially. But thanks to the plot's development, it can be interpreted as the terrible future that Koji and Boruto were talking about. And this is the scene the main character is trying to avoid. But these are just my thoughts, as all the inconsistencies I mentioned can be justified in other ways. In the same interview, Ikamoto said that he didn't even know how the adult characters should look in this scene, so he hurriedly came up with their designs. This explains why their clothing styles are different. Kawaki's words about sending Boruto to the 7th could mean that Momoshiki escaped Boruto's body thanks to Code. According to the authors, Code should have died long ago. Essentially, this character is unnecessary but needed. Therefore, he could be a good vessel for Momoshiki. I've mentioned this in one of my videos. Code is not developing as a character. He's a fanatic of the Otsutsuki. He worshipped Ishiki and seems ready to worship Momo as well. There have already been hints in the anime that, despite the white karma, he can be given another one, as Kawaki suggested Boruto do. In any case, everything I said at the beginning can be justified in other ways. But personally, I think it would be more interesting if the scene from the first episode of the chapter were just a future possibility that Koji sees, the one called the worst. This would keep the viewers intrigued, while allowing the main character to save Konoha from such large-scale destruction. Besides all this, the authors now have an opportunity to explain why the anime and manga differ, and this gives the studio producing the anime more freedom, because now they can extend the anime even beyond the manga, change events as they wish, add the Jogen, which isn't in the manga, techniques that also aren't in the manga, and even end the anime as they see fit, up to destroying everyone. And then in the manga, they can say that it was just one of the possible futures, and show the Jogen in the manga itself, explaining it the same way as Boruto's other abilities after the time skip. Kashin Koji saw this power in the future possibilities and taught Boruto how to use it. So, there are many interesting events ahead of us in both the anime and manga. I'm curious about what you think about this. Could the scene from the first chapter be a future possibility that Koji and Boruto are talking about? And will Konoha really not be destroyed? I'm waiting for your comments. Good luck to everyone.